Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go over naming acids, so acid nomenclature. So if you are given a acid compound, you know how to name it, and vice versa. So there are several rules that you need to follow. So again, acids, they always start with an H. So whenever you see an H at the beginning of a compound, you know it's an acid. So let me zoom in a little bit. And again, H is always in front. That makes it an acid. Okay? So we know that HCl, we work with hydrochloric acid a lot. HCl, HF, HI, etc. So notice all of these start with an H. So these are types of acids. However, there are two types of acids that have different rules for naming. So I'm going to first off start with binary acids. And I'm going to end up doing this whole flowchart thing. So hopefully you'll see the thought process of naming, and then we'll do some practice problems. So the first thing we're going to go over is binary acids. And binary acids come from the periodic table. And it'll make sense once we do the process. And then I'm going to write this to the side. We'll get to it. Oxyacid. And this is from the specialist. Alright, so we'll get to this in a second. So, binary from the periodic table. So the rules for naming binary acids is first, you must put hydro at the beginning. And then you name of your anion, so like chlorine, iodine, fluorine, like what I've put up here. Name of anion, whatever nonmetal that is, and then you add ic at the end. So this is basically the formula to building your name. Alright, so for example, I'm going to start off with here HCl. So HCl, so we start with hydro. We know that Cl is chlorine. So instead of chlorine, we're going to end it with ic. So chloric, and then of course we add the acid at the end, hydrochloric acid. If I give you, let's just do what's already listed here. HF. Again, we start with hydro. And we know F is fluorine, so instead of fluorine, it will be fluoric acid, like so. So we're just doing a different ending, and then acid. So pretty simple, binary, there's nothing much to it. That's hydro, name, ic. That's all it is. Now, oxyacids, this is where it gets a little tricky. So this is where I want you to spend more time here. So, oxyacids, whenever I say specialist, so if you're not from my class, I say specialist, which is the polyatomics. The polyatomic ions list, like the nitrate, phosphate, sulfate, that's the polyatomics. I call it specialist. So that's what I mean by that. Alright, so for the rules for this is where it gets tricky. You do not put any hydro at the beginning. So no hydro at the beginning. At all. So if it comes from the polyatomics, when it comes from the specialist, you do not put any hydro anywhere near it. So that's what's tricky, because whenever you see an acid, your first instinct to just put hydro all the time. But no, be careful. If it's from the specialist, do not put hydro. Alright, so you put your name of the polyatomic. And then depending on the ending of your polyatomic, it has different endings. Alright, so I'm going to branch out a little bit this way and this way. Use a different color here. So if your polyatomic ends with 8s, so nitrate, phosphate, sulfate, chlorates, carbonates, so all these endings, 8. The ending with ic. IC, just like this ic, ending with ic. And a good phrase to remember this by is this. I ate something icky. I ate something icky, so I know ate goes with ick. Okay, so for example, if you have HNO3, again, you don't put hydro. See, NO3 is nitrates. So we're going to change that 8 to an ick. So it'll be nitric acid, always in the acid at the end. So that is how you name an acid with the 8 polyatomic. Alright, now the polyatomic that ends with ite. Phosphite, sulfite, chlorite, all of that. Their ending is with us, ending with O-U-S. Alright, and the phrase for that is Sprite is delicious. Sprite is delicious. So that's just a phrase to help. Alright, and an example here, which is pretty similar to HNO3, so I'm going to do HNO2 this time, because NO2 is nitrites. Nitrites, you're going to change this to OUS. So now it'll be nitrous acid. So that is the difference between naming these oxyacids. So 8 is the ick, ite is the s, and there's no hydro in either of these. Alright, this is kind of like a mind game for yourself whenever you have a random acid to name. You gotta have to make sure, okay, is it binary, is it oxyacid, is it 8, is it ite? This is pretty much like a flow chart you go by. Okay, so I'm going to go through a few examples, and then this is pretty much just how you name acids in general. So let's see, what color should I do next? Let me try green. Is that, yeah, that's good to read. Alright, let's say I give you H2CO3. Alright, and by the way, before you, like, how do I know it's from the polyatomic? Easy. So, oxyacid. What does oxyacid mean? Oxygen. So if it has an oxygen in it somewhere, it's an oxyacid, therefore it's from the special list. Alright, since you know it's from the special list, it means no hydro. So I'm going to identify, like, okay, I know CO3 is carbonate, and says carbonate ate something icky, so I'm going to just change this ending to ick. Carbonic, and then throw in that acid there. Carbonic acid. Alright, cool. Let's do another one. H2S. Alright, S. We know that's from the periodic table. Sulfur. Then we do it as sulfide, right? Because in the regular, like, name, ionic, covalent naming, we say sulfide. So we're just going to change that I to ick, because again, no matter what it comes from periodic table, it's always ic at the end. So since it's from the periodic table, we do add the hydro, and then we do hydrosulfic acid. All right. Let's do one more, and hopefully this would be good for practice. I'm trying to make more room here. All right, that's better. HClO2. So ClO2, and you know there's an oxygen there, so this is from the special list. So again, if you look through your special list, you should know that ClO2 is chlorite. Alright, so there is no hydro at the beginning, but then you look at, okay, ite, Sprite is delicious, so it'd be chlorous acid. Alright. Let's do one more. You're going to try it yourself. You're going to pause and then check your work. Trying to think. Alright, HMNO4. Sorry, I had a little brain fart there. Couldn't think of an example for some reason. So MNO4, this is from the special list, so we know there's no hydro. The name of this from the special list is permanganate. Alright, so this whole word, permanganate. Don't, be tricked with the per at the beginning. Still leave it in there. It's literally just part of the name. So, 8, icky. So, it's going to be a little weird, permanganic acid. Alright. Awesome. So, I hope this helps with the naming of the acids. I will do a separate video on how to write acids, like the subscripts and everything. So that's a separate video because I don't want to make the video too long. It's already 13 minutes in. But yeah, I hope this helps, and let me know if you have any questions. See ya.